Good morning, children. As we are discussing the 10th class subject physical science, acids, bases and salts. Yes, acids, bases and salts. In this chapter earlier we had discussed about the what are acids and what are the bases we have seen. In that acids react with metal oxides, bases react with metal oxides. How that ions will dissociate we have seen. Now for the further continuing about that. Do the acids produce ions only in the aqueous solutions? Let us test this. Yes, we have an activity that we are testing. Yes, for this testing, what you have to do means first take the 1 gram of the sodium chloride in a clean dry test tube. Yes, 1 gram of what? Sodium chloride, NaCl, that is 1 gram. You have to take it 1 gram of sodium chloride in the dry test tube and take the concentrated sulfuric acid. Yes, concentrated sulfuric acid, H2SO4, concentrated sulfuric acid. Yes, take the concentrated sulfuric acid and what you have to do means in the dry test tube you have taken that sodium chloride, you add 1 gram of sodium chloride. To that what you are doing? You are taking the concentrated sulfuric acid with lot of care, just you have to pour in that. What will happen? You keenly observe the reaction, what is going to take place. Yes, now while taking that with the precautions, so many precautions you have to take. Don't handle the test tube with the bare hands. Yes, always you have to hold with the what? Test tube holders, and test tube holders you have to do. And always you have to wear what? Apron while using in the laboratories. Yes, now with that lot of precautions you have to do in that experiment. Now what you are doing? First sodium chloride 1 gram you are taking in the dry test tube, then you are adding what? Sulfuric acid you are added to that one. What will happen? Now some gas is coming out from that. Yes, what is that gas? Let us see what is the gas is. What is the reaction that is taking place in this? What is the reaction that is taking place? Now let us, if you want to write the reaction of that one. Here what are the components are there here? Sodium chloride, NaCl plus H2SO4 gives rise here NaCl H2SO4 gives rise what you are seeing. Yes, HCl plus HCl Na2SO4 you are going to get the product NO2SO4 here. Now first you are writing that the equation is called what? Skeleton of the equation. This is what? The skeleton of the equation. Now to this next step what you have to write? Write the physical states of that one. What is the physical state of this one? Sodium chloride. You are taking this as what? Solid. Here what is that? It is a liquid state. Yes, liquid state. Here what is that here? Concentrated you are adding. You are getting like the fumes, that is a gases. Yes, what is the sodium sulfate? That is sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. Na2SO4 is a liquid. Now here, that is the first step is the skeleton. Second step you are writing the physical state. Third step you have to balance that. Now for the balance what you have to do? Your left hand side is called as what? Reactants. Right hand side are the products. Now to balance it. Now see that. According to law of the conservation, what it states? Before reaction and after reaction that the molecules must be remain same. Yes, like that. Now here what? How many sodiums are there here? 1 is there. Here the 2 are there. Here the 2 are there. Just to write here there how much? Here 2 you write it here what? 2 sodium and 2 sodium is balanced. Now chlorines are there here. How many chlorines are there here? 2 chlorines are there. Here only 1 are there. You write here 2. Yes. Now 2 chlorines, 2 sodiums, it is balanced. Now how many hydrogens are here? Here 2 hydrogens. Here 2 hydrogens are there. Okay, this is the balance. How many sulfates are there? SO4, 1 only. Yes, SO4. Yes. Now there is sodium sulfate. That is sodium sulfate. Now it is a balanced equation. Yes. First you have to see skeleton. Next you have to write the physical states. Next what you have to do? Balance that equation. Now after balancing, now see here that what happens when the sodium chloride reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid, gives that HCl gas and Na2SO4. Means whenever you are taking in the test tube, here gas is coming out. Here whenever that in the form of gas is coming out, what is this gas? What is this gas? Now, either this gas is acidic or basic. Yes, acidic or basic. Take the litmus paper. Yes, take the blue litmus paper. Yes, wet litmus paper. Wet blue litmus paper you take it. Blue litmus paper and take it wet litmus paper and place it here. Yes, what will be changes take place? If it changes to red color, that is an what you have to say? It is an acid you have to say. Acidic. Suppose if it won't change, what will say that? Means the gas which is not reacting with that litmus paper. Again you have to take with the red litmus paper, you have to take and see that if it changes to blue, that is a basic you will say. No, if you are taking both, you are taking no change at all. Means what is that? That is about, you can say that it is a neutral substance, you can say. Yes? Now the what substance you got it now here? Red means acidic. What is that? Acidic nature. Means that is an acid blood. Now that is the, what you are going to get, that is a product that is in the form of gas is what here? Now that is an about hydrochloric acid in the form of the gases, that is a HCl gas. Now, you have seen about that concentrated, you have concluded that HCl as the what? Gas, means hydrogen chloride, that is not in the yes, if you are placing here, you have no change, you are getting what you can say, no change is what you will say that as neutral, no change is neutral. We are directly placing that, you are keeping like that, that is no change, it will be taking place. No change means that is neutral. Yes, that is about this. How to test this gas? Yes, you are taking what? You are taking about that what? Wet litmus paper. Then only you get it. Otherwise, there will be no change on this one. This is one way of the finding about that one. You have one more in this only. If you are taking this, the test you same. Here you are using the litmus paper, as it is that same reaction you are going to take place. Whenever the gas is involved, it is coming, you are taking the litmus paper. Means the litmus paper will be changes to blue blue to red means you are taking what? Wet litmus paper. Wet litmus paper you are taking, that will be changed to blue to red color, that is what? Acidic in nature. Yes, from this experiment, yes, you can see. Yes. Is that any problem is there while seeing this diagram? You will say that yes, any problem is there. Means always the test tube must be held with what here? Test tube must be held with the test tube holders. Yes, don't bare-handed. You must not have. Yes, with you have to wear what? The gloves, or you have to hold that concerned equipment, means like the test tube holder, and you have to do that experiment only. Yes, this is about that, how that acids or base and acid reacts gives rise. Now here while holding this, what will happen if you are holding the bare hand? Yes, whenever you are bare handed, you hold it, either may be heat evolved or heat absorbed. Whenever you are concentrated using, that is a heat evolves, means it may be a burns take place. Due to that burns, yes, suddenly we may leave that one, we may leave the test tube. Yes, either we may leave that, either it may be the acid or a base, whenever falls on our hand, it also may be harm to us. Yes, it may be harm to us, and hand may be burned. Yes, hand may be burned. That's why we have to hold with the test tube holders. Yes, you have to consult equipment. Yes, this is. Sometimes in an examination, while showing the diagram, yes, what is the, yes, what is the, find any problem with this. Any problem is there with this diagram like that here. Means here what concern hold with what? Test tube holders. Like that also you have to write. Yes, that is about that. Now, hydrogen gas is evolved. This the dissociation of HCl in water, dissociation of water. Yes, the dissociation of HCl in the water. Yes, now how the water in the water HCl will be dissociated? HCl plus H2 gives rise. HCl plus H2O gives rise H3O plus Cl minus. Now here it's HCl plus water, hydrochloric acid react with water and gives rise to hydronium ion. Hydronium ion plus chlorine ion means H3O plus and Cl minus. Yeah, that will be dissociates. Yes, hydrogen ion cannot exist as bare ion. This hydrogen ion cannot exist as bare ion. As bare ion means individually it will not exist as H3O plus ion. Here hydrogen ion, that is unstable one. Easily it will be mixed with forming another compound. Yes, easily. That's why hydrogen ion cannot exist as bare ion. Yes, that will be associated with water molecules. That will be associated with water molecules. And hydrated ion is H plus is attracted to 4 to 6 molecules. This will be attracted to 4 to 6 molecules for this H plus and hydronium ion H3O. That is H plus H2O gives rise H3O plus H3O plus. You already learned about that. Acid gives H3O plus or H plus ions. H plus ions in water. Yes, in water. Let us see that bases. Yes, when bases are disassociated with water. When bases are dissociate with water, what will happen with the water bases? Yes, that is NaOH plus NaOH gives rise Na plus and OH minus. Na plus and OH minus. Here in presence of water, that is liquid aqueous NaOH. KOH gives rise K plus and OH minus. K plus and OH minus. If you are taking MgOH taken twice, gives rise magnesium hydroxide, Mg plus and OH minus. Mg, how many ions are there Mg? Here 2, Mg2 and OH minus ions are there. OH minus. Yes, this is about that. Sorry, this is aqueous, liquid. Yes, these are the some of the bases. Yes, on dissolving the bases, water will be OH minus. On the dissolving the bases with the water, you are producing what? OH minus ions. Yes, on the bases when dissolved with water, you are producing what? OH minus. H plus, where you have learned about that H plus ions are the acids and OH minus are the bases. Yes, whenever the bases react with what? Water, giving rise to OH minus ions. OH minus ions are what? Bases. OH bases which soluble in water are called alkaline. Bases when bases which are soluble. Bases which are soluble in water in water are called alkali. Alkalis. Yes. Here all the bases do not dissolve in water. Yes. One example: barium hydroxide. Yes, it is a mildly dissolved, slightly soluble in water. This is slightly dissolved in water. Slightly dissolved in water. Yes, this is about that. Yes, on do the acids produce that ions on aqueous solutions, and this we have learned about this. And when bases are dissolved, dissociate with water. Okay, children. Thank you. See you in the next class.
A very good morning, children. We are going to discuss about the second chapter, respiration, in the 10th class biology. Children, already we discussed some topics related to respiration chapter in the previous classes. In the previous classes we discussed about the types of respiration and the respiration process which takes place in the different types of the plants. Okay, so today we are going to discuss more topics involved in respiration process. Okay, the first topic is respiration in plants. Respiration in plants. Children, how the respiration process takes place in the plants? Plants contains leaves. Okay, the leaves contain more air spaces. The leaves contain more air spaces when compared to other body parts like stem, branches and roots. So, the leaves contain a pigment. What is a pigment, Nana? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a pigment which is present in the leaves, and the leaves contain more air spaces. So with the help of chlorophyll pigment, the solar energy is converted into chemical energy and it prepares their own food by using the process photosynthesis. Children, how the respiration process takes place in the plants? Through the leaves. Okay, what is the function of leaf, Nana? Exchange of gases. Exchange of gases means what? Plant absorbs carbon dioxide gas and release oxygen gas into our atmosphere. Okay, so leaves carry gaseous exchange process. Okay, how leaves contain more air spaces. Okay, so by using the air spaces, leaves trap carbon dioxide gas from our surroundings and convert it into oxygen gas. Okay, next, not only leaves, in some of the plants, other body parts also carry respiration process. For example, roots. In the case of mangrove plant, roots carry gaseous exchange process. Next, lenticles of the stem. Lenticles means spaces present in the stem. Lenticles of the stem can perform gaseous exchange process in the case of orchid plant. Okay, children, what you understood from this topic? Leaves contain more air spaces when compared to other body parts present in the plant. So, with the help of leaves, the solar energy is converted into chemical energy and the plant prepare their own food in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, mostly leaves carry solar energy and converted into chemical energy. Okay, so that's why the leaves can perform a function, that is nothing but gaseous exchange. Okay, so the carbon dioxide gas which is going to enter in the leaves convert this carbon dioxide gas into oxygen. Here what happens? The leaves carry gaseous exchange process in the plants. Okay, then not only leaves, in some of the plants, roots perform gaseous exchange process. For example, mangrove plant. In the case of orchid plant, lenticels of the stem perform gaseous exchange process. Okay, next, gaseous exchange process by lenticels of the stem. How the gaseous exchange process takes place in the lenticels of the stem. Okay, children, please take a stem and cut the small portion. Once you observe the air spaces which is present in the stem. Okay, so what happens now here? The stem absorb the carbon dioxide gas from surroundings, and when it absorbs the carbon dioxide gas, it breaks down carbohydrate. It's nothing but glucose molecule. So when the glucose molecule is completely break down, it releases energy. By using the energy, plant convert carbon dioxide gas into oxygen gas. Okay, plant convert carbon dioxide gas into oxygen gas. Okay, so actually what happens here? The lenticels of the stem which is filled with some air spaces. Okay, and the water which is dissolved in the air spaces. Water also dissolved in the air spaces. That's why this portion absorb carbon dioxide gas from surroundings. When the carbon dioxide gas which is entering into the stem portion, the glucose molecule is break down and it releases energy. By using this energy, the carbon dioxide is converted into oxygen. Then oxygen is releasing into our atmosphere. Okay, this is a mechanism which takes place in the lenticels of the stem. Okay, next, aeration in the roots. Next, aeration in roots. What is called aeration? What is called aerial? Which roots are exposing to air? Actually, children, we know that the roots are present in the soil. The roots are present in the soil. But when we are observing in our surroundings, some plant roots are appearing on the top of the soil. Okay, some plant roots are appearing on the top of the soil. Which roots are present on the top of the soil? The roots are called as aerial roots. The roots are called as aerial roots, and the process is called aeration. What is called aeration? The aerial roots absorbs water and carbon dioxide gas from the top of the soil. This process is called aeration. Okay, for example of aerial roots plant, mangrove. Children, already we discussed in the previous classes. The mangrove plant which is present in the coastal region, means where the water is available more. In the places we are observing mangrove plant. Okay, so what is the speciality of mangrove plant? Mangrove plant contain hollow stem, very thin stem. Okay, mangrove plant contain hollow stem and it contain long root hairs. Okay, it contain long root hairs. With the help of root hairs and hollow stem, the mangrove plant absorbs more amount of water and more carbon dioxide What is the activity? Carbon dioxide gas which is evolved means what na? Released. Carbon dioxide gas which is evolved during respiration process. Carbon dioxide gas which is evolved during respiration process. Okay, how we can say carbon dioxide gas is evolved during respiration process? Very simple. Do this activity. First you take a broad glass vessel. Okay, first you take a glass vessel. Okay, so to this activity, before one day you take Bengal gram seeds or moong seeds. Okay, so soak the moong seeds overnight. Okay, then what happened? If you are soaking the seeds overnight, the size of the seed increases. Okay, the next morning you take out the seeds from the water and you take a wet cotton piece. Keep the seeds in the wet cotton piece and tie the cotton piece for 5 to 6 hours. After 6 hours, you open the cotton piece. What happened? We can what happens now? The wet seeds are converted into sprouted seeds. Okay, the wet seeds are converted into sprouted seeds. So take a sprouted seeds. Take a sprouted seeds which contains small root-like projection. Okay, take some sprouted seeds and keep in the glass vessel. Keep in the glass vessel. Take a beaker. Keep in the glass vessel. In that beaker, you must take lime water. Okay, you must take lime water. This is a glass vessel and these are sprouted seeds. These are sprouted seeds. Okay children, what is the activity? Take a glass vessel, keep some sprouted seeds in the glass vessel. Okay, keep one beaker with lime water in the glass vessel. Now close the lid of the glass vessel. Okay, wait for 5 to 6 hours. Wait for 5 to 6 hours. After 6 hours, you open the lid. After 6 hours, you open the lid and observe the lime water which is present in the glass vessel. What happens now? The lime water actually it is blue in color. Okay, but after 6 hours, the blue color lime water. After 6 hours, we observe the blue color lime water is converted into milky white. Okay, the blue color lime water is converted into milky white. So, what is the chemical reaction which takes place here? From the sprouted seeds, the gas is releasing. The gas which is going to treat lime water, then it converted the blue color lime water into milky white. What is the gas which is releasing from sprouted seeds? That is nothing but carbon dioxide. Very important. Okay, that is nothing but carbon dioxide. What is the function of carbon dioxide gas? Carbon dioxide gas converted blue color lime water into milky white precipitate. Milky white precipitation. So here after 6 hours we observed the blue color lime water is converted into milky white color due to the presence of carbon dioxide gas. So from this activity, what you understood now, the carbon dioxide gas which is released during respiration process. Okay, carbon dioxide gas which is releasing due to respiration process. Okay, next activity, very important, 4 marks question. The next activity is also very important for 4 marks question. To this activity, first you take a thermocol. First you take a thermocol glass jar. First you take a thermocol glass jar. Okay. Then you take a glass vessel. Okay. Then you take a glass vessel. Okay children, so here in the glass vessel you take sprouted seeds. Okay, in the glass vessel you take sprouted seeds. Sprouted seeds. Okay, in the glass vessel you take a sprouted seeds. Okay, now insert one thermometer. Now insert one thermometer. So the thermometer contains readings. It shows how much temperature which is present in the sprouted seeds. Okay, fix one thermometer into the sprouted seeds. Now close the glass jar by using lid. Now close the glass jar by using lid. Okay, so now wait for 5 to 6 hours. Now wait for 5 to 6 hours. After 6 hours, once you observe the reading in thermometer. Okay, after 6 hours you observe the reading in thermometer. Otherwise, for every half an hour you record the temperature in the thermometer. So what happens when we are keeping thermometer? The temperature is 0 first. Okay, how the time is increasing, like that the temperature also increases in the thermometer. Okay, here what happened now? The temperature also increases in thermometer. So it shows what? Heat energy. The heat energy which is released during respiration process. From this activity, what we understood? The heat energy which is releasing during respiration process. What is the activity? Very simple. First you take a thermocol glass bottle. In that you insert one glass vessel. Take sprouted seeds, keep in the glass vessel. Insert one thermometer into the sprouted seeds. Now close the lid of the thermocol sheet. Wait for 5 to 6 hours or check the temperature for every half an hour. Okay, so if you are checking for every half an hour temperature, what happens now? For every half an hour the temperature is increasing. Why? Because sprouted seeds release heat energy. Due to that heat energy, the reading, the temperature in the thermometer also increases. Okay, here sprouted seeds releasing temperature. Due to the temperature, the thermometer also increase the reading. Okay, so from this activity what you understood? Sprouted seeds release heat energy. That's why we can observe more temperature in the thermometer. From this activity what you understood? The heat energy is released due to respiration process. Okay, the heat energy is released during respiration process. This is about activity. Next, the last topic present in this chapter is nothing but what are the differences between photosynthesis and respiration process. Very important 4 marks now. Write the differences between photosynthesis process and respiration process. Okay, write the differences between photosynthesis process and respiration process. Okay, first one, photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis process is carried only in the green plants. Okay, photosynthesis process is carried only in the green plants. But respiration process is carried in the living organisms like animals, human beings and microorganisms. Okay, photosynthesis process carried only in the green plants, but respiration process is carried in other living organisms like animals and human beings. Okay, next, photosynthesis process carried only in the presence of sunlight. This process is carried only in the presence of sunlight, but this process is carried in the absence of sunlight. This process is carried presence of sunlight and in the absence of sunlight. Respiration process is carried on. Okay. Next, in this process, plants prepare their own food. Plants prepare their own food by using chlorophyll pigment. In this process, plants prepare their own food by using chlorophyll pigment. But in this process, plant cannot prepare their own food. Means the animals and human beings depending on others. Okay? Depends on others. Depends on others. Okay? This process is carried in the daytime only. Why? Because sun is present in daytime, you know. So this process is carried only in the daytime. But this process is carried daytime and night time. Okay, respiration process is carried daytime and night time. Okay, so in this process, the synthesis of glucose molecule is takes place. But in this process, breakdown of glucose molecule is takes place. Okay, here breakdown of glucose molecule is takes place. But here synthesis of glucose molecule is takes place. Okay, so here synthesis of glucose molecules takes place. That's why this process is called anabolic process. Okay, this process is called anabolic process. Here breakdown of glucose molecules takes place. That's why this process is called catabolic process. Okay, this process is called catabolic process. Okay, here what happens now? The chemical reactions takes place in photosynthesis reaction. That is very important. 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of light and chlorophyll. In the presence of light and chlorophyll, it gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. Okay, what is the chemical reactions takes place in the photosynthesis equation? 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of light and chlorophyll, it gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. Here the chemical reaction is nothing but C6H12O6 plus 6O2 in the presence of heat energy divided into 6H2O plus 6CO2 plus heat energy. Okay, heat energy. What is the chemical reaction for respiration process? C6H12O6 plus 6CO2. It gives rise to 6H2O plus 6CO2 plus heat energy. Okay. This photosynthesis process using heat energy. The photosynthesis process using heat energy, but here respiration process releasing heat energy. Respiration process releasing heat energy. Okay, these are the main differences between photosynthesis and respiration process. Okay, so what is the main difference between photosynthesis and respiration process? Very important 4 marks question. Photosynthesis process carried only in the green plants, but respiration process is carried in all living organisms like animals, Explain how carbon dioxide gas evolved during respiration process. During respiration process. Second question. Explain how heat energy. Explain how heat energy evolved during respiration process. Okay. Third one. Write the differences between photosynthesis and respiration process. Photosynthesis and respiration process. Okay. So children, these are very important 4 marks questions. We'll get in final exams. Okay. Learn these 3 answers from the class. Okay. Hope you understand this video. Whatever have it out, you ask in the Zoom meeting. Okay. Thank you everyone.
Children, okay, production and employment. Production and employment. We have discussed about the production and employment, and now we are going to discuss about this, about organized and unorganized sector. I told you in the previous class what is organized and unorganized sector. Listen here, organized and unorganized sector. Organized and unorganized sector, you see, I told you, organized means government employees. Organized means government employees and those who are working in industries and those who are working in software company. And unorganized sector, they are the labor, casual workers and the labor, I told you in the previous class. And employment in India, they are working here. And 2 examples are there in your book, that is a case study. Listen here. One example is there, Narasimha. One example is there, he is a government officer, he is a government employee, Narasimha, and he is from organized sector. I told you, a government employee means organized sector. So this Narasimha, a case study, one story is there about the organized sector, how benefits he will get. And another one, Rajeshwari, unorganized sector, and how benefits are there. Now we should compare both. We should compare this both the people of organized and unorganized. We should compare what are there. Now I am going to tell you about the Narasimha. Narasimha is a government employee. He will go at 9:30 and he will come at 5:30. And from his house, office is 5. And you see 5 kilometers. So he will go by his vehicle. So from his house, office is 5 kilometers. So he is going on the vehicle to the office, and 5:30 is coming. But you see, for this person, some benefits are there. What are the benefits? You see, if Sunday is there, he will sit in the house. If holidays are there, he will sit in the house. But he will get the salary. Total month salary will get. 30 days salary will get. That is called as paid holidays. Paid holidays he will get. And another one is having benefit that provident fund will be there. They will give the salary. They will give the provident funding for him. Dearness allowance, HRA, house rent allowance. House rent also they will give. Dearness allowance they will give. If any day he rent means, they will give the charges to you. And another one you see, provident fund he will get, and after retired also pension he will get. He will get the pension. Suppose while he is doing the duty or any health problems has happened, for them, what is their health scheme will be there, health card will be there. Health card means in hospital how much it became, the amount they will pay, government will pay. Suppose 3 lakhs has happened, government will pay 3 lakhs for him. Like that benefits are there. You see how nice. salary is irregular. On first you will come, and for this organized sector, what is there? Some rules and regulations are there for him. Timing, minimum scale, and pension, provident fund, paid holidays. Everything for this person, rules and regulations are there. But you take Rajeshwari, she is unorganized sector. She is working in the construction department. Where the houses are constructing, where the apartments are constructing, she will go there and she will work as a labor. So from his house near about some 10 kilometers far, she will go by bus. She will go by bus, and 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock she will work, and there is no time to that one. So what happens? 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock she is working, and you see here for this daily they will do the wages. And if she is not went on that day, suppose she felt sickness, she will not go, so salary they will not do. And suppose she has, while working, she has fall down and leg or something has happened, they will not do anything. So no paid holidays, and no the rules and regulations, no rules and regulations, and timing how they want they can do. And you see, and this is the problem for her. No pension, no health card, and nothing is there for the Rajeshwari. So these are the examples of organized and unorganized sector, and you should know that organized sector today, I told organized sector means agriculture also will come in the organized sector. Agriculture, BD and some other works, casual works, repair, painters, everybody will come in the unorganized sector. So 92% are there unorganized sector, and 8% only is there organized sector. Government employees in India, 8% only is there. That is about that one. And here I am going to tell you about the organized sector. Minimum wages will be there. One rule will be there. Government has prepared one act. Act means one rule. Everybody should follow that rule. That is called as act. If they are not following, they will be punished. What is that? Minimum wage act. Minimum wages they will give for them, and some rules and regulations will be there. If a government has some rules and regulations, and according to the rules and regulations only they should work, and the rules are prepared by the government, and according to the rules only the employees will work. That is called as rules and regulations, and minimum wages will be there. And another one, what will be there, you see here, another one you see, and salaries are given regularly, monthly, and their salaries are posted in the banks, and provident fund is there, paid holidays are there, and if they want any sick leaves or any leaves are there, they are sanctioned for these people. So that's about organized sector. And unorganized sector, nothing is there in this one. Rules and regulations are there in unorganized sector. Rules are there, but nobody will follow the rules in unorganized sector. For them also 8 hours only should work. Government has prepared the labor office will be there. That is a government one, labor office. In the labor office some rules are fixed that any labor, dignity of labor means we should respect the labor. We should respect the labor in the sense means what are the rules are there that they should respect. 8 hours only work should be there, but nobody will follow the rules. You see, 7 to 7 o'clock they are making. Not only Rajeshwari, like that lot of the people are there, casual workers, like repairs like electrician repairs and some painters, and also some house construction works, everything. No time bound. How much they want, they will make them to do work. And that is rules and regulations are not there in this one. And minimum wages also they will not do. Already wages also, you see, government has fixed for the labor, you should do this much wages. 300 you should do per day, but nobody are caring. They are not giving 200, they are giving less wages. So rules are fixed by the government for the unorganized sector. But nobody are caring that one, nobody are following this one. So these are the problems are happening. It is, you see, and rules are not following, wages are not giving properly. Already wages are fixed, we should do that one. These are not giving. But paid holidays will be not there. That is about that one, and that is about that one. And you see here, low wages, That's why unorganized sector, low wages, very less wages that will. Very less wages. They will do, actually they should do 300 per day, but 200 they will do. For women they will do less, and they will do comparative. There is no equality. For men they will do more wages, and for the women they will do less wages. But both will do same work, but they will do differences. For men more they will do, for women they will do less. These are all happening in unorganized sector. That's the reason no paid holidays, no pensions, everything will not get here. That is the unorganized sector. And you see here, next one, self-employment. Self-employment means what? Their own small businesses they will keep. On the street vendors, you see vegetable sellers are there. Some vegetable sellers will be there. On the road they will sell the vegetables, fruits, and small business they will keep. And repair shops they will keep. And these people are also comes under the unorganized sector. And they are called casual workers, repairers, painters, electric repairers, this all, and motor repairs, vehicle repairs, this all, vehicle repairs, painters, electricians, small hotels, on the streets, some people will keep, they will sell the fruits, and they will sell the vegetables, hackers, so carriers, and some transporters, some people will transport, like luggages will transport, that is about the auto rickshaws will be there, and these all are self-employed, and these they are also getting very less. Why? Because everyday work will be not there. For these people also work will be not there regularly. Unorganized sector, they will not have works regularly. If you take the house construction, few months will be the work, and in the rainy season they will not have work. For 3 months they should take a rest, like that it will be there. So self-employment and less wages and everything. And one thing here you see what is happening here in the rural areas and in urban areas, the poverty is increasing. In the rural area means villages. In the villages also you see unemployment is increasing more, and also unorganized sector. Now I told you, unorganized sector means the persons who are come in agriculture. And those who are working in agriculture, those are casual workers. Casual workers means painters, electricians, and street vendors, everybody. So here you see in rural area also some problems are happening. In the rural area also they are not getting work properly. You see before that in the rural area, in the villages, they used to get good work. They used to get more work. Why? Because today what happened? Modern agriculture happened. Modern agriculture means all the farmers are doing the agriculture with the tractors and the combined harvesting machine. With the machinery only they are harvesting, they are sowing the seeds, they are cutting, pressing the crop. So everything they are done by the machinery. So they are not hiring the labor. So unemployment problem has happened in the rural area. Why? Because lot of agricultural labor you can see in the villages. But what happened? Lot of the people, they are not getting work and they are falling poor. They are not getting work there, regular work, so they are also under the poor. And if you take urban is also same. Here also unemployment problem became more. Here lot of in the rural area, agricultural labor will be more, and some casual workers also will be there, same as usually, like painters, electricians, everybody will be there, but more agricultural labor are there here, more, and rural area. And urban area means cities and towns. And urban area, cities and towns also some problem is there. Not only that, lot of the poor people, lot of the unemployment is not only in the villages, in the cities also it is there. In the urban area also it is there. What? For the casual workers. Casual workers problems are there. Every day they are not getting the work. Electricity, electric repairs, sanitation, sanitation, and also painters, and also some street sellers, and the trade, transport, for them also problem is there, unemployment problem is there, and also you see they are not getting work, they are also becoming very poor. So for these people, they should develop, and they should look after these people. We should develop. So government see these people, and we should lift them from the poverty line. But because you see they are not having work, they are casual workers. Regular work is they are not getting. Regular work if they get, they will get the money. So in the rural and urban who are under unorganized sector, for them the government should help them. Government should help means what? They should provide some work, and also another one they should do some loans to them. So like that some development will be happen. And next one you see here how to create more employment. How to create more and better condition of employment. You see here their condition is worse. In the rural area, in the urban area, their condition is worse, means 5 days they will work and 5 days they will sit. They will not have work in all the casual departments. Only the government employees, they are getting regular work, they are happy. And in the factories they also are working for them, they are happy. But others are not like that. So what? Government should create some better conditions for the unorganized sector. They should provide some employment, regular employment. That is about that we are going to talk now. Better conditions, what they should do? They should increase the employment. They should increase the employment. Now today, some people are doing something for 5-6 days only, and they are losing their employment. So government should provide some employment to everybody. One best example I will tell you about the DAY-33. We have studied about the DAY-33. She is having 2.5 acres of land. In the 2.5 acres of land, totally 5 members are doing agriculture. 4 brothers, including sister Gayatri, everybody are working in that. And I told you in this one, what is that? This girl's unemployment, I told you. This girl's unemployment. And I told you, this girl's unemployment you can see in the agriculture only. What is this girl's unemployment? Where there is no requirement of work. You see, here you see, this girl's unemployment we can see in the agriculture only. What is the meaning? There is no requirement of more people, but lot of the people will work there. You see, only 2 members can manage that one. Only 2 members can do the agriculture of 2.5 acres, but 3 members are extra. When there is more people are engaged in the work, when more people are engaged in the same work, that is called these girls. These 3 members are placed. So these 3 members, they should do some work, some other works. If they do other works, income will be increased in their family. Income is increased in their family, like that they should do. You see, here once again I am telling you. So, but what happened here? All 5 members are working. Not only Gayatri, like that. Lot of the people in India, you know that 60% of the people are doing agriculture, and still what is that means? What is that means? You see here, more than the requirement, the people are doing work in agriculture, and that is about you can see the Gayatri. And but this one, we should increase the employment. Why? Because these guys unemployment are there. You see, Gayatri family only 4 members are there. So like that, if you increase the employment, the government should increase the employment. How means? First of all, they should do loans. They should do loans for the agriculture farmers. If they give the loans for agriculture farmers, they will purchase pesticides, fertilizers, seeds, and also they should do loan for the electric pumps, borewells, and the tractors, so that they can keep 3 times crop. Now this guy is keeping only 1 time crop. If you give loan, she will keep borewell and she will do 2 times. So like that, she can engage some still labor. So like that, everybody for the farmers, they should give loan for the electric pumps, for the borewells, and to purchase the tractors, so that with the tractors they will get employment. And they should provide markets, transportation, vehicles they should provide. From agriculture to market, like that they should do, banks should help. And industries they should help. And cold storage should be kept. Why? Because when the rate is less, they can keep, their farmers can keep their production in the cold storage. And also where the forest is there, they should keep honey industries. And where the cities are there, they should develop near to the villages. We should tell them to keep the vegetables, so that they can develop the vegetables, so they can sell the vegetables in the city. So like that, the employment we should create. We should give the loans to the people, so that the employment can be generated. Transport, they should give the money to purchase the vehicles. From the fields they can go to the market, like that employment will be there. Cold storage, industries we should establish in the villages, in the rural areas we should establish industries so that employment is generated. So like that they should develop the employment and we should encourage them so like that. And main thing, construct the dams and the canals. If you construct the dams and canals, they can do 3 times agriculture more they can do. Okay, with this I am completing the lesson. Okay, thank you. Okay, I am completing. Okay.